Hello friends, welcome to the session on new trends. In this session, we'll be discussing about one of the new tool that is being practiced by many people nowadays called as the ChatGPT. In this session, we will see what we mean by ChatGPT, what are the features or what are the advantages that are available with the ChatGPT. We will also see some examples how the ChatGPT can be used. And we will also refer in education in what way the use of the ChatGPT can be effective for the students as well as for the teachers. So friends, as you know, you are viewing this session on my YouTube channel, and you can subscribe to the channel so that you can watch many other educational videos on the various topics of the subjects of electronics and computer science. So let us start the session with the question what we mean by ChatGPT. We know that we are all human beings, and as a human being, we have some intelligence associated with us, and this intelligence is being called as a natural intelligence. So all humans are naturally intelligent. Artificial intelligence is a machine intelligence. So far the machines that we have made, such as computer, mobile devices, those are the machines which are not intelligent. But it is possible that you can incorporate or you can develop some algorithm, some program through which some intelligence can be incorporated into these machines as well. And this branch of computer science, which will emphasizes on the creation of the intelligent machine, which work like a human being, which react like a human being, is being called as an artificial intelligence or AI. ChatGPT is a artificial intelligence chatbot, and this chatbot is being developed by a company called as OpenAI. So many people have contributed into the development of this company. So millions of dollars have been invested in this company, and the current value of this company is expected to be several billion dollars. And recently, the ChatGPT was launched about 3 months back in November 2022. So whenever you go on Google and search for ChatGPT, you will find a suitable link for the ChatGPT of OpenAI. When you click on the link, then you will find that such type of the screen will appear on your computer. So it is a chatbot basically. So chatbot, you can say it is a kind of a program or software application, and that is being used to conduct online chat. Say for example, we are the human beings and we are always on the social media. So when we are on the social media, we create chats, we talk with each other. But whenever we respond to each other, we are the human beings, and human beings are responding to each other. But chatbot is a software, it is a program, and it will perform the chat just like to that of human beings. So it will perform the chat conversation, and the chat conversation will be performed via text, or sometimes it can make the use of text to speech. So both way it is possible that it can perform the conversation. It is a GPT basically. So GPT is a generative pre-trained transformer. So we can say that it is a kind of a language model. In computers, whenever we do work, we make the use of some languages. So the original computer languages are the low-level languages. Then we have high-level languages. And this is a kind of autoregressive language model. And this language model makes the use of a learning mechanism, and that learning mechanism is being called as a deep learning mechanism. And because of this mechanism, it is possible that this language model will produce human-like text. So whenever the human being talk, or whenever a question is being asked to another human, the way he react in a similar way, this language model will also react. So deep learning, you can say, is a higher form of learning where the algorithm makes the decision or algorithm takes the decision as the human does. So many times whenever we are talking with each other, then we need to make decisions, and these decisions are being reflected in our answer. So similar to that, you will find that this chat GPT will also make decisions based on your reaction or based on your chat. And those decisions will be very similar to that of human beings. So there are certain advantages, or we can say there are certain capabilities of ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a very useful software, or you can say that it will remember what the user has said in the earlier conversation. So whenever you open a new chat with the ChatGPT, then you will go on remembering what you are asking to the ChatGPT. And accordingly, he will go on modifying the answers produced by the ChatGPT. So it will provide, or it will allow the user to provide the follow-up corrections. So corrections are made by the ChatGPT. There is also a regenerate button provided. So if you are not happy with the answer provided by the ChatGPT, then you can click on the regenerate button, and you will find that the answer again will be generated by the ChatGPT. ChatGPT is also trained to decline inappropriate requests. So for example, when I ask ChatGPT, can you prepare Aadhaar card for me? Then the ChatGPT replies that I cannot prepare the inappropriate Aadhaar card for you because this is not permitted to me. So whenever you put some inappropriate request, then such inappropriate request will be declined by the ChatGPT. ChatGPT is very useful for learning computer science because it can write and debug computer programs. You will find that almost computer programs written in any high-level language can be produced by the ChatGPT. You can ask him to produce computer programs in Python, in C, in C++, and you will find that whatever the problem that you put in, or whatever the premises of the problem that you give in, according to those solutions will be generated by the ChatGPT. The ChatGPT can compose music also, just like humans. Humans are creative. They can create many things. ChatGPT is also creative because it can create music, it can create teleplays, it can create fairy tales. And it is possible that whenever you ask ChatGPT to write an essay, then that essay writing is also possible with the help of ChatGPT. Now, if you take some test, or if you ask the ChatGPT certain test questions, then you will find that the ChatGPT will also answer these questions if that information is provided to the ChatGPT in its database. It is possible that ChatGPT can write poetry, it can write songs also. So, so far, when we used to compare humans and computers, we used to say that humans are creative, computers are not creative. But with this OpenAI technology of ChatGPT, now you will find that it is almost impossible for a human being to distinguish between a poetry that is being generated by the ChatGPT, or the song that is generated by the ChatGPT, and the song that are written by the human beings. It is also possible that you can emulate a Linux system. You can simulate an entire chat room by using the ChatGPT. ChatGPT can play games such as tic-tac-toe, and it is also possible they can simulate the ATM. So there are several functionalities available with the ChatGPT. I ask questions on computer science. I ask questions on electronics. I ask questions on microbiology to the ChatGPT. And almost every question was answered by the ChatGPT. So ChatGPT's training data include man pages and information about the internet phenomenon and programming languages. And therefore, you will find that the solution to the programs, or the solutions to the problems that are given as an input to the ChatGPT, almost all problems will get resolved by the ChatGPT. Say, for example, when I ask a question, explain quantum computing in simple terms, then you will find that an appropriate answer was provided by the ChatGPT in relation with what we mean by the quantum computing. So this is another request. I asked him, what is give me a poem on the friend, and you will find that a very good poem was being generated by the ChatGPT. A friend is someone who is always there to lift you up and show their care. They make you laugh, they wipe your tears, and help you overcome your fears. So if you are happy with this generation, then it is okay. But if you are not happy with this generation, you can again press the regenerate button. And if you press the regenerate button, you will find that another form of poem on the friend will be generated by the ChatGPT. I asked ChatGPT to give me a C program to determine the factorial of a number. And here is the answer of the ChatGPT. A perfect program was given as an output. And below that, even the explanation of the program was also given by the ChatGPT. So a few days back, when I asked the ChatGPT to write a program, then it has given only a code as an answer. But now I think the capabilities of this technology has been improved, and now it is also giving an appropriate explanation of the program. But apart from the several capabilities, you will find that there are certain limitations associated with the ChatGPT. With the ChatGPT, it is possible that it will generate incorrect information. Sometimes the ChatGPT is not in a position to understand what you are asking, or sometimes the appropriate data is not there in its database, and therefore some incorrect information may be generated by the ChatGPT. It is also produced sometimes the harmful instructions, or sometimes the content produced are the biased contents. It will also have a limited knowledge of the world and events after 2021. So it is being said by the OpenAI that the knowledge up to 2021 have been provided to the ChatGPT. But providing a further knowledge is not at all difficult, because a lot of amount of data can be easily fed to its domain. You will find that also whenever we ask the ChatGPT sometimes to draw or show the photo for any query, then being a linguistic model, the ChatGPT will say that it is not possible for him to draw the diagram or to show the photo for the query. When I asked my ChatGPT that why you are not giving my earlier chats, then the answer was given to me that it is an AI language model and it doesn't have the capability to access the previous chats. So I think somebody is controlling the ChatGPT, and the previous chats might have been removed, and therefore now it is not in a position to make an access to the previous chats. When I asked him to show the photo of radar system, then it has given me the answer that being an AI language model, it do not have ability to display the images. However, you can easily find the images of radar system by searching for them on the internet. So ChatGPT is also suggesting us that you can go on the internet and you can Google or you can search for the photos of the radar system. In early days, when I asked him about the block diagram of a radar system, the ChatGPT was unable to retrieve the block diagram. But today, when I try again the same question, you will find that there are certain improvements in the ChatGPT, and now the ChatGPT was able to draw the block diagram for the radar system. So I think based on the query that we give to the ChatGPT is learning on its own, and it is making improvement every day. So this is another interesting conversation to the ChatGPT. I say him, my friend says 1 + 1 is 11. So the answer by the ChatGPT is 1 + 1 is not equal to 11, it is equal to 2. This is the fundamental concept in arithmetic, which is the branch of mathematics that deals with the study of numbers and their properties. The basic addition operation involves combining two numbers to find their sum, which in this case is 1 plus 1 is clearly true. But when I say that my friend is always correct, then he replied, it is important to remember that sometimes people may make mistake or have misunderstanding, even if they are usually correct. In this case, it is possible that your friend is joking or simply trying to be silly. However, it is important to understand that 1 plus 1 is not equal to 11. And this is a well-established mathematical fact that cannot be changed. If you have any doubts or questions about the mathematical concept, you can always ask a teacher, tutor, or reliable source of information for clarification. It means that the ChatGPT itself is suggesting that if you are not happy with the answer that is being provided by the ChatGPT, in that case, the only alternative solution is to make use of some reliable source of information. So a teacher is a reliable source of information, or a tutor is a reliable source of information, or you can go on Google and then you can search for certain facts. Because on Google, whenever we search for certain facts, then there are certain listing provided by the Google. And every listing has some kind of a reference. So Google do not give anything on its own, but it is possible that ChatGPT may generate an answer on its own without giving any reference point. So we can think of ChatGPT and the future of education. We can say that ChatGPT, with the ChatGPT, it is possible that it can provide some smart content. It is also possible that it can provide some kind of dynamic content and that can change as per the user. So it is possible to regenerate the answer every time, and therefore the content will go on changing. Therefore, dynamic content can be produced by the ChatGPT. We can say that to some extent, it is an intelligent tutorial system. With the help of ChatGPT, it is possible that we can learn many things. It is possible that when we are making the use of digital learning environment or virtual learning environment, then the ChatGPT is also a part of this digital learning environment or virtual learning environment. ChatGPT is improving every day. You will find that many people across the globe are making access to it. They are interacting with it. They are giving their responses. They are asking their questions. Based on the data that is being generated through the interactions, the ChatGPT is improving every day. It is possible that we can predict the performance of examination. It is possible that we can improve the performance for examination by using the ChatGPT. It is not sure that every time whenever we ask a ChatGPT, it will give us a correct answer. So it is always necessary that whenever we use the ChatGPT, then it is our responsibility that we should recheck it, whether it is correct or not. ChatGPT is based on the artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is not a natural intelligence. It is a artificially made intelligence by the humans. But it is possible that you can feed a lot of amount of data in a very short span of time to the servers of ChatGPT. And if there is a data available, then the ChatGPT can always defeat the humans. So we cannot compete with the artificial intelligence. But still, it is possible that we can remain ahead of the machines as far as we stay relevant. It is possible that both the teachers and students can make the use of the ChatGPT. Teachers can make the use of ChatGPT to upgrade their knowledge. Students can make the use of ChatGPT for better understanding. But even if they want to use the ChatGPT, it is mandatory for them to remain upgraded for its effective use. So if you are not upgraded, then practically it is impossible for you to make the effective use of the ChatGPT. Thank you, friends, for viewing the session.